Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown. The three, steps back, crossover, puts up a three. Rebound James. Second. It's over. It's over. Cleveland is a city of champions once again. The Cavaliers are NBA champions.
Cleveland, this is for you.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Block, The Shot, The Stop, a Cleveland Cavaliers podcast brought to you by the people of the Blue Wire Podcast Network. I'm Skylar Webker. He's Kevin Lynch. And Kevin, who cared?
It's a great question, and you're not the first person to tell me this, but I have an answer for you.
All right.
The people that cared were a good portion of the players that played in the game today. Particularly, and if we're talking for the Cavs, not to say anybody on the team didn't care, but I was so impressed by a few of these guys' efforts in a meaningless game. And I know they're getting kind of a chance to showcase themselves that they don't normally get, but how the amount of effort that Jalen Tyson's a great example, because Jalen Tyson's someone, well, he didn't get as much run this year as maybe he would have wanted. Somebody who has a comfortable, future in the NBA for at least next year, right? But he played so incredibly hard today. He played like some of the craziest stats are the minutes played by guys today, which I'm going to get into. But he gave such unbelievable effort in this game for all 46 minutes he played. And if you have any doubt about Jalen Tyson's competitiveness, this is a play that most people wouldn't even notice. But towards the end of the second overtime, when the game is basically decided, there's 20 seconds left, the Pacers are up 8. Everyone else is going to run at the clock. Jalen Tyson runs over and fouls the guy. He's like, I'm not ready to give in yet, right? In this meaningless game, I'm still going to play hard for the next 20 minutes, even though I've already logged 46 minutes, probably more minutes than I played in the last 2 months combined. So I was so impressed by not only the skill that some of these guys had. You know who else cared? Tristan Thompson, an NBA champion who is kind of like a figurehead on this Cavs team, kind of like an ornament on the bench. I mean that glowingly. Gets dusted off, plays 43 minutes today, grabs 20 rebounds. We'll kind of ignore the fact that he was a minus 25, but the effort he was giving and everything. And we'll get into a couple of the other guys too, but like I was really impressed by most of the guys that took the floor today, and just the amount that they put out there in a meaningless game in the order of winning. It's one thing if you go out there just to get your shots and to try and put, a mixtape together, but those guys, the effort that was put in towards winning this game by several of the Cavs and the Pacers for that matter, I was like really impressed with.
Yeah, it makes you feel really good about, we've mentioned before through the season how NBA's kind of starting to turn into baseball, where you have kind of a farm in your G League team. It makes you feel good about the guys in the farm that, if somebody leaves in free agency or this, that, and the other, you have guys that are qualified, ready, and able to step into these roles, like a Jalen Tyson, Craig Porter.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked what I saw from Amani Bates today, even though he still got his 15 shots up tonight, but he actually played really well with his 26 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block tonight. So really liked what we saw from Amani Bates and a lot of the guys that we just don't get a lot of visibility or ability to see a lot.
So everything you're right, and I'm going to get into that. But first, I need to make an apology to all of our listeners. I have given out many of just terrible bets this year, and if you've gone with every one of my bets this year, you've lost money. And then I found a golden one today, and I did not share it on our feeds, which I should have. I found Amani Bates adjusted field goals attempted 15 plus was plus 300 today for the game. And knowing that finally today was going to be the day he was going to get a lot of run, I'm like, there is no way. If this guy plays 20 minutes, he's going to get 15 shots up. Now, if I would have been really smart, I would have guessed that he had attempted 15 threes.
Yeah,
insane. 19 total shots, 15 threes. But yeah, I will say, and I want to be positive for the most part because I agree with you. Amani Bates put in Amani Bates effort into this game. Like Charlie, this he is an absolute turnstile on defense. Like I have not seen many guys before in the NBA. Like I don't think he's ever going to stick in the NBA for that reason, even if he does his offensive game and shot does come around. But yeah, he was out there. Craig Porter Jr. looked gassed in those overtimes, but was still giving great effort. I do want to, I want to give a shout out to one Pacer because I noticed Tony Bradley had for them their backup center who played really, really well today. He had 14 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 blocks. And I wasn't sure about something, so I looked it up. And in fact, all 5 of those blocks were on Craig Porter Jr. So Craig Porter Jr. did not want to see Tony Bradley anymore by the overtimes in these games. Seemed like he was getting a block on him every single time Craig tried to get to the basket. But still, even though he had a little bit of a rough shooting day today, still super high on Craig Porter Jr. And a lot of these guys that showed up in limited efforts. So yeah, I mean the only other guy, and I know I've been talking a lot here, so I'll pose this as a question to you. Like, do you think Naquan Tomlin could possibly have a role in the NBA, be a rotation player in the NBA? Because I kind of think he could.
At the way that he played today, absolutely. I think he could definitely be a role player, glue guy, somebody, even if it's like a Tristan Thompson, get in there, be a figurehead. But I'm also just high on, I think, the Cavs coaching staff. I don't know if some of these guys could put in this type of production on another system, another coaching staff, another facility, another team like Kenny and his staff. And one piece that I thought was super interesting today is that you look at the Cavs roster, it's kind of some guys that you heard of, but not really. It's mostly the G League and two-way guys. But if you look on the Pacers side of it, I mean, Miles Turner played, Aaron Nebhard, or Naismith, sorry. Andrew Nebhard, Aaron Naismith, Walker, Obi Toppin, TJ McConnell. Like, they played legitimate guys, like legitimate NBA caliber guys. And for the most part of this game, I mean, they were up by 18 for most of it. And then just kind of fizzled there at the end to lose. But
you're right.
Up good stats against good NBA guys.
So the Pacers treated this game similar to the way the Cavs treated the first game against the Pacers, right? They treated it like a preseason game. Well, they sat out Mitchell and Pacers sat out Halliburton and Siakam for that matter. They played most of the regular guys, but they played them like their regular rotations in the first half and then basically didn't play them in the second half, most of them. Like you wouldn't, that's kind of how you handle a preseason game in the NBA. So that was something you're 100% right. And I was going to call out the Cavs are up 17 at halftime playing their third unit against a good portion of the Pacers rotation. 6 of the 8 guys that are in their normal rotation played today. So I don't really impressive effort by these guys. And you could maybe in the fourth quarter, they simply ran out of gas. I'll give you 2. I guess one stat involving 2 players. That's incredible. It is maybe the stat of the year, right? Naquan Tomlin and Amani Bates both played more minutes today than they had the entire season combined.
I mean, the Amani Bates, I believe. I'm surprised about the Naquan Tomlin one. I feel like he got a few more minutes in before Javonte Green made it, but that's crazy. Yeah,
they both, and I'm pretty positive Amani Bates had played 17 minutes all year. And then I looked at Tomlin Tomlin had only played 17 minutes all year, and Amani Bates had played 33 minutes all year and then 41 today. Wow. And that's the extreme example, but Jalen Tyson has not been playing much at all for since before the All-Star break. Craig Porter Jr. had not played too much, a little bit sporadically, but not consistently at all. Javonte Green had not been played a ton. I mean, I couldn't tell you the last time we saw Luke Travers other than in the last 2 minutes of a game, if we ever did. And then he goes out and plays 27 minutes of the game. Tristan Thompson's old guy logs 42 minutes today. Just absolutely incredible. And honestly, looked pretty good, at least from like a physical fitness standpoint. Like I thought he simply would not be able to make it that long in an NBA game. But the
endurance, man, he's got that built up.
I'm telling you, he has really good cardiovascular function from just constantly yelling from the bench, constantly yelling over guys' interviews.
Exactly.
So, maybe we didn't factor that in when, or at least I didn't, when I was thinking about how Tristan would perform when called upon. But man, I mean, 42 points, 20 rebounds. It's hilarious. And anyway, kind of like the Thursday night game, really these 3 games that the Cavs played after everything was decided were way more entertaining than we would have thought any of the 3 of them would be. And I think that just speaks to this team. This team, even when there's no reason to be, they put up a really good effort, a professional effort, and they make the game enjoyable.
I also like just some of the silly stuff, like Jared Allen, 1 minute played, 3-point attempt, got an assist though, and then just checked out. Got his 82 game in, checked out, and done.
In fairness, I think that was probably. I think if they would have let him, Jared probably would have played more today. I think that was Kenny's way of saying, "All right, you want to play all 82 games." Every game, and I don't want to hear anything about like Jared like cheated the system to get all 82 games. He had not played less than 15 minutes any game this season until, which that is a regular rotation for most players in the league. And then tonight, tonight was very ceremonial, just to have basically do the tip and then come out the first chance he got. But yeah, and the coming in, and I figured that was going to happen, that he would just be out in the first minute, but the pulling a 3 like 8 seconds into the game by Jared Allen is simply phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, to anybody that wants to discredit it, you look at Mikal Bridges, who's kind of the current Iron Man. He did less than a minute tonight to get his game in for the year. So it's not uncommon for he only had 81 games this year, so he did actually miss a game this year. So it's not uncommon for just do it to get it in. But as you said, he's put in consistent minutes throughout the year, not just the one appearance, say hellos, tip it off, get out of there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love Jared. I will stand for Jared whenever, wherever. And I'm not going to hear any of this. I mean, if anybody and I saw a couple people give him flack, why even play? Like it's, you cheated the, I don't know, consistency streak of 82 games. Like Jared Allen cheated nothing. Like he, like in an era where in the load management era, which I am kind of on the fence about load management. I understand some of it, and then some of it I'm a fan. I just want to see guys play. So it's one of those arguments to see both sides. In the load management era, Jared Allen plays arguably the toughest position, and being an undersized center in the NBA, meaning he's going to get banged around all over the place. And he plays all 82 games. The first 81 of them, he plays at least 15 minutes in every single game. Jared Allen cheated nothing. Incredible season by Jared Allen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But let's look ahead into kind of, now we're at the off season. I don't know if you saw, or sorry, we're after the regular season, not the off season. I don't know if you saw though, but Evan Mobley has now passed Draymond Green as the betting favorite for defensive player of the year.
You just need to go on a podcast, man. That's it. That's it. Is there still time to get Ty Jerome on here and then have him win Sixth Man of the Year? Could we do that?
He should be push that up on. He should go back on Georges Niang's podcast and be pushing that narrative, man. I feel like every time everything he said on that podcast got clipped into more and more stuff.
Yeah, he pretty incredible. But yeah, I mean, I do want to say something. I'm really disappointed about it, and this is just a side note because it came up. Well, I brought up Ty Jerome. This really frustrates me, right? So all of a sudden, And like my favorite NBA writer is like Zach Lowe, but apparently on his podcast and one or two others, people were saying Ty Jerome is ineligible for Sixth Man of the Year because he didn't play 20 minutes in 65 games. That's what the requirement is to make all NBA to win MVP. That rule does not apply to Sixth Man of the Year. Like, and it frustrates me so badly that even guys I super respect as NBA media people don't know the rules on what they're voting on. And Ty Jerome might lose a chance to be considered for Sixth Man of the Year just because people have the rules wrong. It's kind of, I don't know. That's just something I found very frustrating because I was going all over the internet and it ended up like, going to a lot of people that I knew would know and try to find it on NBA.com. And sure enough, there's nowhere where the 65 game rule and the 20-minute a game rule applies. It doesn't apply to Sixth Man of the Year. It does not apply to Rookie of the Year. It does not apply to all rookie team.
So the current Sixth Man of the Year, I had to pull it up. The current Sixth Man of the Year odds: Peyton Pritchardson minus 1,400. You could give me the argument, sure, but then you have Malik Beasley Pistons plus 500, Russell Westbrook Nuggets plus 6,600, then DeAndre Hunter at plus 15,000, and Ty Jerome at plus 20,000.
Yeah. So that's the thing. If he was going to be ineligible, he wouldn't even be on the board, even with the longest shots he has. So that just really frustrates me that, Zach Lowe and Kirk Goldsberry and a couple other guys that I heard that are like big wigs NBA guys. And I don't think they're voting on the award this year, but people that either have voted on the NBA or have influenced, lots of people listen to him, that think he is ineligible for a rule that doesn't apply to that award. That's like that's incredibly frustrating.
Yeah, it's frustrating, and then it just kind of adds the layer of confusion because I know there's tons of people that are still confused about like play-in tournament, anything like that. So as a league, you don't want to have all this confusion across multiple areas of your sport. So I don't know if it has to be like, I don't know what the league has to do to kind of clear that up, but you're right. It's clear. It's very frustrating to have multiple areas of confusion around things.
Yeah. So anyway, that was my tangent. I'll let that go now, and we can we can look ahead. I know you wanted to kind of look ahead at the play-in games.
Yeah. So now that we are finally through the regular season, we know that all right, we're gonna either be playing the Bulls, the Heat, the Magic, or the Hawks. What is a team that you kind of hope we get matched up against? What's the team you hope we miss? Where do you hope the chips fall?
It's a good question. I mean, the real answer is I don't care because the Cavs beat any of them. But to play along and everything, I would least want to play Orlando because Orlando has the best talent. Like that's even with Jalen Suggs out. I think the Cavs would still beat them in 5 games. But for me, I always bet on talent in the NBA, and there's possibility that like Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero can go nuts and push the Cavs to 6 games and make it a lot tougher series. Ideally in the first round, I think the Cavs win any first round matchup with any of these 4 teams. You'd like it to be fairly painless, in 4 or 5 games, get back to resting, get ready for the second round. And so probably at least want to see Orlando. I thought about saying Chicago because Chicago has played really good. I don't really believe in their talent or like to be this good, but they have played like a top 8 or so NBA team the last couple months with their record and everything. So all that's to say, I would most want to play Miami because Miami is in 1, 2, 3 Cancun mode right now. So I don't think we will. I think they're going to peace out against the Bulls, but that would probably be the team I want to see the most.
So I'm with you on you want to see competitive basketball all the way through. But I would want Orlando to have to go to Boston.
Okay.
I think not for the sense of, we miss Orlando. I think Orlando is going to be a tougher matchup for Boston. And then Boston gets either Knicks or Pistons, which are probably also a bad matchup for them or a tougher matchup for them. Just to make Boston's road longer so that when we or if we meet them in the Eastern Conference Finals, we had a little bit more of an easier path, and they've had to get beaten up a little bit, lose 2 games a series.
I think that's a perfect phrase you just used, is let them get beat up a little bit. Like I don't know that there's a team that I'd feel confident in beating Boston before the Eastern Conference Finals, but I do think there's teams that would be super physical with them and wear them down. And those guys on Boston, to their credit, have played so much basketball the last 5 years between, just over and over again, run to the Eastern Conference Finals, run to the finals. Like they got 3 or 4 guys that have played in the Olympics last summer. And so they have just played a ton of basketball. Like I would love any team that's going to wear them down, whether that's make them win or make them play an extra game in a series, or just be like super, super physical with them. I'm with you like on Orlando, and I would love to see Detroit be the team that plays them in the second round, because I don't think Detroit can beat them, but I think Detroit will give them everything they want physicality wise.
Detroit just has to get through the offensive side of the Knicks. I mean, The Knicks are kind of a turnstile on defense, but the offensively they can hit shots, and I think Detroit is kind of on the other side. They're a defensive lockdown, play rough, play hard. But I agree with you. I'd like to see them take Boston on in the second round.
Yeah, I'm really, again, okay with seeing any of these teams. Now that I think about it, maybe the Bulls are a team I don't want to play the most, just because they've been playing so well, and they're young, and they don't know how uneven of a matchup it would be. They probably would come into it thinking their peers and everything. I don't know. Like I'm fine with all of it. Like there's a part of me that like doesn't want to see Atlanta, just because I still really like Karis LeVert and George Niang. So I kind of wouldn't want to play him for those reasons, though I would not worry about the Cavs being able to beat the Hawks in a series. But yeah, if we could somehow, if Miami wants to, go crazy for a couple of days and play them, like I think they're right for the pick, and they're ready for the season to be over.
I agree with you that I think out of everybody, I don't want to see Atlanta, and it's not because I'm scared of them or anything. I really just don't want to see. I don't like Atlanta's brand of basketball. I don't like Trae Young's brand of basketball, and like you said, I still like Karis, still like Niang. So you don't want to go in there and have this extra storyline on top of it. You'd rather just guys come in, play basketball, be the most professional team that we've seen in the league all year.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, Atlanta is definitely not what they were early in the season when they gave the Cavs trouble last year, when they gave the Cavs trouble. Obviously, they traded Cleveland DeAndre Hunter, so it's one guy that not only do you not have to worry about, but now you have him on your side. I thought Jalen Johnson was possibly their best player this year. He's out for the year, and again, they are playing a little bit better. They're playing better kind of down the stretch, but they're not nearly as kind of long and athletic as they were at the beginning of the year. The kind of team that gives the Cavs real problems. Donovan Mitchell looks like my daughter looking at birthday cake when he sees Trae Young try to defend him. So I would not worry about that Atlanta matchup at all. But I also, still have a soft spot for Karis and George, and would kind of hate to knock them out.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm with you. I'm fine with, I would like to see Miami if they want to we're not dead yet, and then get smacked. But I think you're right. I think they've been in Cancun mode. For a while there, they were looking like they were trying to lose out.
More importantly than any of these 4 teams that the Cavs are going to play, the Cavs are going to go into the playoffs like fully healthy, barring anything happening in practice or anything. And I would think feeling pretty good about themselves after having like a rough stretch, the rough stretch in March, early April. Kind of the team has bounced back in the last week or two. Some of the guys struggling the most, particularly Darius Garland, has, bounced back in a really big way these last, 5-6 games. So I think the Cavs and Cavs fans should go into the playoffs excited and ready to go.
I agree. And another piece that, I saw on X or Twitter or whatever the hell you want to call it these days. Like this will be the first time the Cavs they're going to be home in Cleveland, in their homes, in their own facility for about 2 weeks until they hit the road again. So that's something that was lacking during that rough patch, was that they were constantly moving. We talked about how they weren't in the same city for over a month. So I think they're going to have a lot more comfort in their the personal aspect of it all, being home in your own bed, going to your own practice facility. I think they're going to be ready to bite here in the playoffs.
Well, and you think about it, this is the first time all season, these next 3-4 days, that they can just focus on themselves. They don't know who their opponent's going to be until Thursday or Friday nights. And so literally all they have to do for the next 4 days is kind of take care of themselves, kind of refocus on, their, strategies, game plans, their individual games or their game as a whole, meaning the team. So I don't know. I feel I'm feeling really, really good. And it kind of stinks to have it be a week before you even get to see a playoff game, but with the Cavs, but I think it'll be all for the better, and can't wait till next Sunday.
I know. And unfortunately, their first game is on Easter, so that kind of stinks. But other than that, it'll be fun to see them. It's fun for playoff basketball. Is just the best. And I'm ready for this Cavs team to get to this thing that we've all been talking about all season long, because we kind of saw it, and I'm glad that we got we're not quite there yet, but the first phase of wire to wire has set in.
Yeah. And I know we're ready to get out of here. So that's a great segue to just add a couple things. We're not going to take the whole week off just because the Cavs are. We've planned a couple of things. We're actually going to do a really big, fun, detailed, review of the regular season and the celebration of the regular season, because it should be celebrated. We're not gonna just do normal awards things, this and that. We're gonna try and do it in a really kind of fun way. We're gonna put it together. It'll be out by the middle of the week this week, and then I think we're gonna do a pod as soon as the matchup is set, whoever they're playing against. We're gonna do a pod right after that and do a preview right away about what we think once the playing games shake out.
Absolutely. So with that, we're going to get out of here. Thank you to Blue Wire for giving us this platform. If you're checking us out for the first time, please give us a like, a subscribe, anything like that. It really helps. Leave comments. We love to interact with fans, hear what you guys are thinking. Follow us on all the social medias. We're on all of them. And if you're listening to us for the first time on your podcast app of choice, please give us a review. It helps us form the show, and it's just good to know that people are out there listening. So for Kevin Lynch, Tim Daniel, I'm Skylar Wepker. We're going to get out of here.
Go Cavs.